He's the dimension-traveling magician who has a soft spot for gem apples. It's Magolor from the Kirby series. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Magolor, he made his first appearance in the game Kirby's Return to Dreamland, which originally released on the Wii in 2011. Magolor is an intergalactical traveler who accidentally crash-landed into planet Popstar while trying to escape from the four-headed dragon known as Landia. After Kirby and friends discovered this, they agreed to help Magolor repair his spaceship known as the Lore Star Cutter and to defeat Landia for him. Turns out this is all just a big trick so that Magolor could obtain Landia's crown, which is said to have unlimited power. And what was he wanting to do with all that power? To become one of the most powerful beings in the entire universe and to destroy planet Popstar. But as per usual, Kirby stopped him. Nowadays, Magolor is seen as an ally towards Kirby. I know that's a common story trope with most of the villains Kirby's defeated, but Magolor took that trope a step further. Not only is he friendly towards Kirby, but he also runs a little shop and owns a large amusement park to make everyone in Planet Popstar very happy. And today, Magolor will be reuniting with Kirby, Meta Knight, and King Dedede to take on all of the villains on the Super Smash Bros. Roster. So starting off, Magolor would be an extremely lightweight character. He'd have a grand total of 6 jumps and would have no other movement options. But now, let's dive into his costumes. Well, actually, before that, this video is sponsored by StreamStation PC. For those of you who've never heard of StreamStation PC, StreamStation PC is a website that sells PC equipment, but not just any PC equipment. Each PC here is custom made and was made with gaming in mind. These are high quality gaming PCs that can run up to 60 frames per second and even supports 4K resolution. So if you'd like to order a custom-made gaming PC, head on over to StreamStationPC.com. And if you'd like to get a small discount while simultaneously supporting my channel, then use the promo code on screen. And now, back to the video. Okay, now let's dive into his costumes. For Magolor's default appearance, he'll be in his iconic blue attire. For the next 3 alts, these will have Magolor in the multiplayer color schemes of Kirby Star Allies, which have been yellow, light blue, and green. For the 4th alt, Magolor's robe turns pink and purple, which references what Magolor looked like once he obtained Landia's crown. For the 5th alt, Magolor's robe turns white and gray, and is slightly damaged than before. This in reference towards both the Game Boy Pocket screen color and what Magolor looked like in the secondary storyline of Return to Dreamland called Magolor's Epilogue. For his 6th alt, Magolor gets a costume that he wore in Team Kirby Clash, where Magolor was a shop owner instead of a mage. And the final alt will have Magolor wear a top hat. If you couldn't tell, this in reference towards Magolor's appearance in the minigame party mode called Merry Magoland. Now with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the moveset. Now, Magolor's moveset was surprisingly easy to make, and that's because Magolor has appeared in quite a lot of Kirby titles and has been playable in most of them. So starting with the jab, it'll be a one-hit spammable jab where Magolor uses a magic circle from his hand. It doesn't reach all that far, but it is a very quick attack. For the side tilt, Magolor opens a small black hole from his fist, which drags foes in and deals multiple hits of damage until the final hit. It's a pretty reliable move to use, but there is a bit of start lag and a bit of end lag once the attack ends. For the down tilt, Magolor performs a slide on the ground a single time. It's pretty weak compared to most sliding attacks, but it comes out pretty quick. For the up tilt, Magolor grows 2 spikes from opposite sides of himself and pierces them upwards. It's pretty weak if foes get hit from the bottom, but the big damage is received from the tips of the spike. Now for all of Magolor's smash attacks, this is where Magolor's true power starts to shine through. So for Magolor's forward smash, Magolor creates a huge sword and swings it from high to low. As you might have guessed, this smash attack is incredibly deadly, as there's a very great chance that Magolor can get early KOs with this smash attack. Unfortunately, just like how this move was in Kirby Star Allies, there's a lot of start lag and a lot of end lag. Not only that, but this move stops right at Magolor's foot level, meaning that it won't make a circle shape like it did in Star Allies. For the down smash, Magolor places 2 magic bombs on opposite sides of himself. The explosion radius is pretty small, but it does deal more damage compared to most down smash attacks. Plus, just like Villager's forward smash, the bombs are gravity affected and can fall off the stage if you happen to be on the edge. For the up smash, Magolor shoots out a small fireball upwards that explodes in midair. Once it explodes, the 3 tiny fireballs circle around the previous fireball that exploded. The explosion radius this time is much larger than the down smash and even has more launch power, so foes can be launched higher than normal. Unfortunately, the fireball does count as a projectile, so be wary of using this move against foes with reflectors. For the neutral air, Magolor spins inside of a bubble and deals multiple hits of damage until the final hit. This comes straight from his final boss fight in Kirby's Return to Dreamland. For the forward and back air, this will be an innovative attack where Magolor creates a smaller sword and swings it a few times, just like Meta Knight's forward and back air. For the down air, Magolor throws a small gravity effect and magic bomb downwards that explodes as soon as it hits an opponent or the stage. The downside with this aerial is that it does count as a projectile, so chances are that someone will reflect it right back to Magolor. And finally, for the up air, Magolor causes a small black hole to appear above himself, which can drag foes in and deal multiple hits of damage until the final hit. But where Magolor claims his crown is with his special attacks. For Magolor's neutral special, he'll shoot out a magic ball forwards as a small projectile. Simply tapping the special button will have Magolor shoot out a single magic sphere that counts as a projectile. This sphere doesn't deal a whole lot of damage or knockback, but it can be spammed for as long as you'd like. Now that's just if you tap the special button, but if you hold it, Magolor would charge up his magic and shoot out 3 fireballs forwards that can drag foes in and deal multiple hits of damage until the final hit. This variation of the magic sphere is a lot stronger than the original, but doesn't travel as quickly and does count as a projectile, so try not to use the special against foes with reflectors. Now for the side special, Magolor will shoot out a huge laser beam forwards. Now when I say huge, I don't mean as huge as it was in Magolor's epilogue. It'll only be slightly shorter than how it was in the original game. This special is a charge up only type special, so you can't use this move unless you fully charge it up, which takes about 5 seconds. After it's fully charged, Magolor shoots it from his hands and causes a large amount of damage and knockback. As strong as this move sounds, there are a few flaws with this attack. First of all, Magolor isn't invincible when he charges it up, so he can be launched or even grabbed out of charging it. Not only that, but there's a lot of end lag once the attack ends. And again, it does count as a projectile, so be careful when using this move. Now for the down special, Magolor throws 3 gem apple bombs forwards. These apples are gravity affected and can be reflected or picked up by other opponents. Tapping the special button again will have the gem apples explode, although the explosion radius and the damage dealt is surprisingly small. However, if they happen to stay on stage for about 5 seconds, they start to grow, which can increase the size and the damage of the explosion. And finally, for the up special, Magolor teleports by using a portal to escape. Despite sounding like most teleporting moves in Smash, there is a unique feature with this teleporting move. Once he appears and disappears into the portal, he'll cause a small amount of damage and knockback to anyone who happen to be too close. Not only that, but he also won't go into freefall, so he can freely use any of his jumps or even aerial attacks, just as long as if it's not his up special again. And now, for the final smash. Magolor's final smash will be the Lore Star Cutter. This will be a cinematic final smash where Magolor opens up a portal to his flying spaceship known as the Lore Star Cutter. Anyone hit by the Lore Star Cutter will be sent into a cinematic. The cinematic then plays out with the opponents trapped onto the front of the Lore Star Cutter while it proceeds to get attacked by the 4-headed dragon Landia. Then, after about 5 seconds of this madness, the Lore Star Cutter crash lands onto the stage and explodes, covering a majority of most stages and dealing a large amount of damage and knockback, ending the cinematic. This final smash is a direct reference towards the opening of Kirby's Return to Dreamland, where Magolor crash lands onto Planet Popstar. The stage of choice is Merry Magoland from Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. This stage's layout is reminiscent of the Wii Fit Studio, where it's a flat surface with no walls and occasional platforms that appear from time to time. Sometimes stickers appear on stage that, if attacked, can give the players an item. This is in reference towards the sticker system that most people use in Merry Magoland. In the background, you can see various Waddle Dees and bosses from Return to Dreamland. Not only that, but if Magolor isn't selected when fighting on this stage, Magolor will appear in the background and cheer for the opponents. As you might have guessed, the music this time around will be strictly from Kirby's Return to Dreamland and Magolor's epilogue. In total, 17 songs will be included, 6 of which will be remixed. And that would be if Magolor joined Super Smash Bros. To be honest, I personally think Magolor is one of the best Kirby characters to date. He has such a unique character development out of all the Kirby bosses. And to me, he deserves to be in Super Smash Bros. Just as much as any of the other Kirby characters I've talked about in the past. Anyways, do you have a character you'd like to see be given a Smash moveset? If so, let me know in the comments down below. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe? That way you can get notified when I put out any Super Smash Bros. Moveset videos. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.